Results don't stop, they compound. Welcome to a special edition of the NGH Hypnosis podcast, Meet the Presenters. I'm Deb Livingston. The NGH convention takes place August 7th, 8th, and 9th. You can build on your success with our Meet the Presenters podcast series, so you can start planning your classes today. So let's meet today's guest. Welcome, everybody, and let me introduce to everyone the fabulous Heather McFall. How are you today, Heather?
Fantastic.
I want to talk a little bit about you before I dive into the classes that you're teaching at the conference this year. Heather McFall is a certified hypnotist and instructor with the National Guild of Hypnotists, and she's been a presenter since 2004 and has spoken to groups and organizations all over the United States and Canada. Students enjoy her comedic delivery, which I love, to keep themselves engaged, and her gentle skill of helping people find a sense of humor about themselves. She has graduated dozens of new hypnotists, neurolinguists, and performers over her 19 years career, and she has owned 5 hypnosis clinics, 2 hypnosis schools over 3 states, and currently continues to teach, treat, and entertain in Florida. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you. That must be an old bio because it's years.
Oh, goodness. Well, it's all fabulous about you. And I also want to congratulate you and mention again that at our conference last August, Heather was a recipient of our Charles Tebbett's Spreading the Light of Hypnosis Award. And congratulations on that again, because you definitely are a light bearer in this industry. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to mention also, before I dive into your classes, one thing that you spoke one time at a CI meeting about the National Guild of Hypnotists, and I've been using your words ever since because I loved how you spoke into it, where you referred to the NGH as the flagship and the Ivy League Guild for all hypnosis education and conferences. And I really believe that's true. So I'm going to start this in the front, so putting on the back. What is it that you love about the Guild, and why are you so excited to be presenting at the conference?
Ever since 2003, when I was certified by an NGH instructor who I found in the phone book, just dated myself when advertising the phone book was a popular thing. And she did fantastic. And the reason she was a great trainer is because of all of the courses she took at the NGH conventions. So in 2004, the first convention I went to, there were 2,000 people in the castle in Nashua. And it was literally, you could just lift your feet up and the shoulders would
Yep.
to your class because it was so bursting at the seams. And there was so much to learn in so many different avenues. But the fact that there was an award ceremony and a banquet where chapters and recognition of education and trainers, it was all represented there, and it meant something, and it felt definitely like a solid, real organization.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't a paper mill. There are a lot of hypnosis trainings that are just a paper mill. You can submit anything you want. Nobody's testing you. There's no accountability. You just send in a check and an application, and they send you back a piece of paper. And what I liked about the NGH is it's the longest organization of its kind, and it's accountable, and it's actually created of people, and we get to come together. I used to say once a year I get to go to the Guild, and they're the only people who get my jokes. When a layperson doesn't know that it's funny when they say, well, you look great today, and your response is, that's right. Like, see, you're the only one that would laugh. Other people don't know what I'm talking about.
We got the inside scoop.
So we have set the standard, and we do have accountability, and there's so much diversity in there. And Marie Beach, who has passed away, I continue every year to realize what a great trainer she was because of the bits and pieces she got. Every time I meet another instructor who's been around for a long time, I realize, oh, that's where she got that from. And
Interesting.
It's just, we definitely are a flagship. And the fact that we still meet live every year, there's something to be said about human contact and being accountable with a person standing in front of you and feeling somebody's energy and understanding body language and tone. And you don't get that anywhere else.
I agree. And the shoulders that we all stand on of the people that came before us, I just think is so amazing too when you look back at the history of the organization and all that. So speaking of the conference, which is August 7th, 8th, and 9th this year in Marlborough, Massachusetts, you are teaching two classes, and let's talk about those a little bit. The first one that I want to talk about is Physiology Wins Over Emotion. Learn how to incorporate spontaneous movement to change emotion in yourself and clients to achieve the goal. Please explain that one. That sounds really juicy.
So the concept, so the understanding of there are 6 steps to a belief. Every human brain goes through these 6 points to construct a belief in their body. And the problem is physiology trumps emotion. So what you do or have happening inside your physical body causes a mood or state of mind, has nothing to do with reality. It is just a chemical response. When you feel madly in love and you're full of eros and that person can do no wrong, and isn't that booger in his nose so attractive? Like when you're in that fate, it's because of oxytocin. That's why I say it should be called love at first sniff instead of love at first sight, because of the pheromones, right? And you're just hot and heavy, right? So you're literally deleting, distorting, and generalizing information that's making that person that you've got this literal chemistry with, you're seeing them through one lens, rose-colored glasses, right? So that's a positive physiology. But also, especially like as I'm getting older and going through menopause, and I'm dealing more in the villages with clients that are in their 60s and 70s. And when your estrogen goes down, your body isn't regulating. As your testosterone goes down, you're not regulating. But I can shoot anybody up with a shot of cortisol and they will immediately feel like they're having a panic attack. So your physiology makes you feel panicked, and then it's going through your filters and sorting to find what's causing that panic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you learn physiology first, instead of your brain going state of mind, mood, going through my filters, finding the source, rationalizing why that is the source, go ask somebody else some biased question to prove to ourselves that our BS is right, belief system. And then 6, belief. Shazam, now you have a distorted belief based on a chemical response.
Wow,
So
that's
the
really
whole training
interesting.
is getting people to understand that you need, before you go outside of yourself and your filters, you need to check in with yourself. Have I eaten? Have I slept? Am I at the end of my hormone replacement? Did I skip my patch? Have I shot up too much testosterone and it's making me aggressive, or turned into estrogen, making me vulnerable? Like getting people to actually check in with their physiology before they check in with the outside world. And it's just as important to us going into our office to see our clients as it is to teach our clients. Because there are days you go in and you just feel like everything hurts your feelings and somebody didn't get the results they wanted and you feel like a total loser. Well, instead of going, that made me feel like a loser, how about, did I sleep? Have I eaten? Is this low blood sugar? Where am I in my hormone replacement if that's the case? What have I had that maybe overstimulated me or something?
This is so powerful. I'm sorry, keep going.
It's just learning. It's learning about that and how to identify it in your clients, and then how to check in with yourself so that you can stay on an even keel. And then learning, and then I'll teach some body language and body movement things that you can do in yourself or teach your clients to do.
This is really interesting, number one, and fascinating. And I love everything you said. But one thing I want to go back to is when you said self-referenced. When we're at the office and maybe a client didn't have a result that we thought they should have, the first step is usually, well, what did we do wrong?
Yeah.
But you're saying pause and check in a different way. And I think that's such a really powerful thing to just have somebody pause and do, just as powerful for the hypnotist, I think, as for the client. So I'm really excited for this class. It is going to be held on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, the weekend of the conference. And again, physiology wins over emotion. And I wish you could give the 6 steps right now. I think you just did, but I'm thinking, I already want to be in this class, so I'm excited for this one. And then you're teaching another class, and this is called How to Manage Know-It-Alls. Keep your self-esteem intact and eliminate being intimidating. This is where I said, where were you 30 years ago in my life? So talk about this. This is great.
So there, so now I'm teaching again, but there the five behavior profiles: competency, self-expression, freedom, security, uh, belonging, or membership. So we all fit into one of those categories, and it's what we're proving. So innately, we don't believe it's true, so we tend to be overcompensating to prove it. And so it comes out and becomes really obvious in people's behavior. Like you can look right at them, the way they dress, the way they move, what they're trying to prove. So every once in a while you get somebody coming in and they're clearly competency behavior profile. That's it. Like that's what they're trying to prove in the world. They use big $20 words instead of making it simple. They ask more questions rather than answering the question. In those situations, just to manage those people, instead of going, oh well, this is a smart aleck, this is somebody trying to compete with me over intelligence, instead of competing back and forth, making them more insecure, if you just tell them how smart they are. You can't have an ego in you if you're going to do this job. You have to be absolutely happy and excited to become whatever they need you to be to get them to change, because the meaning of our communication is the response we get back, right? So if you need to be humble, if you need to play dumb, if you need to be powerful, if you need to be militant, if you need to be docile, like it's like they're giving it to you. So you look at them and go, okay, who do I need to be for this person? Do I take my jacket off and lay back and use cuss words, or do I button up straight and keep everything pencil straight? You're just looking at them. And a competency-based person, if somebody is feeling insecure, they can get sucked into it and then start having a battle of wits, and then you've lost control of the interaction. So with a competency-based person, you just go, wow, you're really smart. And then they're like, hey, she's smart enough to know how smart I am, so I can listen now. Right? But if you just say, well, I'm gonna go over some things that you probably already know, but I just have to go through my pattern. And so you're making them comfortable enough to know that they're respected and that they're smart enough. They don't have to try to get an A. And that's the only way you're going to get them to take in new information. Because somebody who's proving how smart they are is going to delete anything they don't know. Because the deletion, distortion, generalization, what they're going to do is delete anything that is new information. It will literally just not be in their awareness. They'll distort what you're teaching or explaining into something they already know, because what they're doing is making a checklist of what they've already learned or what they already know or what they can already prove about themselves. But they're not getting any new information if they're doing that. So you've got to get them out of that by making them feel safe and comfortable enough to learn. But then you got the other side of the coin. Like I was a psych major before I dropped out of that and became a hypnotist and neurolinguist. And when the first time a psychiatrist made an appointment to come to me, I was like, I totally screwed the pooch on my free screening, because it was like, why is this person here? She's like, And then I realized halfway through the screening, she doesn't have a relationship with her mom. Her kids don't talk to her. She's living in her mother's basement and they're not speaking to each other. She's divorced. She's overweight. She doesn't make enough money to come during the day. She had to make appointments in the evening because she couldn't afford to cancel or open up a day in her schedule. And I'm looking at her going, well, wait a minute. I've got healthy relationships with my family. I'm surrounded by wonderful, supportive people. I've got I was seeing at the time I was in Raleigh, I was seeing 32 people a day. I was making like $500,000 a year in my gross. So I'm looking at her going, I make more money than her. I have better relationships with her. I'm a size 6. I stand in the front row at Bikram yoga 3 days a week. I'm like, why am I intimidated by this person?
Yeah.
She came here to learn from me.
Yeah.
So I had to let it go. I had to let go of the intimidation so that I could give her what she came to me for. And people can get intimidated by doctors, lawyers, judges, senators, governors. I've had all kinds of people come in my office, and if I was intimidated by their social standing, their money, or their education, then I wasn't in the zone to give them what they came to me for.
Right.
So how to manage it is first reading it and being able to respond, but then also managing yourself. So in that class, I'm going to do like a formal guided imagery hypnosis session for the people in the class to work on their personal self-esteem and maybe go over those behavior profiles, because leveling always starts with yourself first. You can't do anything for somebody else if you haven't done it.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to tell somebody how to get out of the woods if you're already in the clearing.
Exactly.
But if you're lost in the woods, that's just lip
Follow me.
Yeah. I'm lost. You want to be lost with me?
Be my friend.
Do it.
So I know that you also do NLP work as well. So, and I'm also hearing, well, you're really intuitive because you're also reading people. You're not using that language. So in this class, are you teaching also NLP techniques, or is this strictly hypnosis?
Oh no, it's a blend. I always blend
That's what I
them.
thought.
EFT, NLP, hypnosis. Yeah, it's you just use whatever tool is necessary for the job.
I love this. I'm super excited about both your classes. And one thing I love hearing you speak is, we all sort of have our little way of what we do life. And I love hearing how other people interpret similar information. And so I'm like holding on yours going, oh, I really love how you present this. So I'm looking forward to your classes this summer. And is there anything else I'd like to share to anybody about who's listening about come to the conference and
come to the conference? It's the best. You finally get to be around your people, and then you get inspired.
Absolutely. And that inspiration can last for a very long time.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I thank you so much for taking the time to talk today and share your classes. I want to mention them again. Is one with Heather McFall, Physiology Wins Over Emotion. Learn how to incorporate spontaneous movement to change emotion in yourself and clients to achieve goals. And the second one, how to manage know-it-all. I just love that. How to manage know-it-alls. Keep your self-esteem intact and eliminate being intimidated. And I think what a powerful class for new hypnotists, for anybody who still gets a little, anytime they have to step in front of somebody who they think might be a bit more together than they are, and how we can shift those perceptions. So thank you for offering these classes this year.
Thank you, Debbie, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you're teaching this year.
Yes, don't have it in my head right now, but I'll be there doing something. We'll edit that part out.
I'll be in the front row.
Excellent. Nice to see you again, my friend.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for being with us for this special edition of the NGH Hypnosis Podcast, Meet the Presenters. Now's your chance to take advantage of exclusive access August 7th, 8th, and 9th in Marlborough, Massachusetts. And don't miss the opportunity to learn and network. Register today. Riding an emotion. Take a deep breath. Okay. How do I